Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Business Over Breakfast. I'm Ben Barber.
Lori Chitari here, ready for Business Over Breakfast. Good morning.
Good morning, Lori. It's been a couple weeks. I don't remember what happened last Tuesday.
It's crazy. Something, I don't know.
It was like a big day for some reason.
Yeah.
And I can't
I know what it
remember.
was. I had my book manuscript due, and I was working 24/7 for 2 weeks in a row trying to get the manuscript, but it went in last Monday night at midnight, and I was beat. So yes, I think I texted you right before I dropped into bed and said I can't wake up.
You did, and that was. And first of all, congratulations on the book.
Thank you. It's still in process, but it's cool.
Absolutely. And then I also that night I was doing the Rhode Island Democratic Party's election night show, and so I was happy with taking the week off from this as well, because that was a monster of a show and actually led to one of the best. Can I air this? It's like you know what?
It depends on what you're about to say.
It's a minute and a half video that I think that it would be funny on here.
All right.
Things happen when we're live, all the time.
Well, let's bring Alex on and we can watch together.
Absolutely. Alex, why don't you introduce Alex first?
All right. So I feel like when I introduce this guy, I want to be like DJ Alex Brown.
I think that you need to.
He's probably going to be like, okay, whatever.
Best hype up you can go. Ready, Lori?
Right.
3, 2, 1.
And this morning we will be entertaining with DJ Alex Brown. He is in the house.
Yay!
Hey,
Alex, so you just
gotta get the strobe lights going on.
Yeah, I don't have strobe light. I have random aerial footage on here. I can do a Beatles alert.
That works.
That's for a different show.
I feel like it needs to be like do 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 do.
Should have sent over my DJ drop before we got going.
That would be great, Alex. Thank you so much.
Alex, you didn't know what you were getting into.
Yeah,
hey, I love it. It's great.
So, so we do want to show this really cool video from last week, but why don't we just do a quick intro of
let's talk
you
about
as
Alex
our guest this morning, and then you can we can all watch it together.
Sure. So I am DJ Alex Brown. I am obviously a DJ. I also provide lighting and photo booth primarily for weddings and other types of mobile events. So Sweet 16s, parties, corporate events. I've done pretty much anything that you can think of within the industry as far as parties go. I've been doing it for 10 years now. So I probably look pretty young, but I've been doing it since I was like 10 or 11 years old. So a long time. And happy.
So how do you introduce yourself when you come out on the floor?
Generally it's only at a wedding that I introduce myself, but I usually just say basically, good evening, everybody. Welcome to, Mr. and Mrs. Wedding. I'm Alex. I'll be your DJ for this evening. If you have any requests, please feel free to, come up and let me know. And pretty much stuff like that. And we're going to get ready to introduce the bridal party now and blah, blah, blah.
Cool.
It's a little early for the DJ voice.
Sorry.
A little early for the DJ
voice. High in the morning. That's one of the issues I have.
Ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Exactly. Thanks.
So, Alex, how long have you been? I'll show that video. The video is very pointless. It's very pointless. I'll show it at the end.
Let's watch it.
All right. Well, speaking of introductions, I got this is so bad. I got the biggest introduction that I will ever get in my entire life unintentionally last Tuesday night, thanks to a scheduling conflict. So here we go. This is the chairman of the Rhode Island Democratic Party. You may know him from the calamari bit during
Right.
the DNC. Here we go.
Can't hear it.
Oh, 1 second. Did I really do that? It's early. You know what, Alex? It's early for me too, apparently.
I'm
I
sorry.
was like, man, I gotta set my alarm early for this thing.
All right. Can you hear it now?
We made history on
Yes.
January 6, 2015, as our first female governor. A graduate of Harvard, Oxford, and Yale, she kickstarted the economy and made record investments in our infrastructure, education, and job training. And she led the efforts to make Rhode Island the fourth state in the nation to offer tuition-free college, the Promise Program, to every high school graduate. More recently, she earned praise for her hard work in controlling COVID-19, turning "knock it off" into a national household phrase, and one that every Rhode Islander recognizes, and hopefully will help us defeat this pandemic.
I don't know who wrote
Her
this
no-nonsense
intro, but it's
approach
wonderful.
helping us to one day soon turn the corner on this pandemic. COVID-19 has claimed too many lives and caused too much heartache. And Governor Raimondo reminds us every day we each have a part to play in ending it. I'm pleased to welcome the Honorable Governor Gina Raimondo. Governor.
Biggest letdown of the night so far. I'm so sorry. And the producer, Raimondo, is not in yet. She's running a little bit behind schedule. So we're going to have to do that wonderful intro again in a little bit. But we do have the Lieutenant Governor here next. So if you just want to go.
That was great.
I saved that clip as Governor Ben Barber.
Oh my God, that is great.
The best introduction I'll ever get in my
Ben
entire
Barber
life.
for governor. Ben Barber for
I
governor.
know, right?
Never. I will never seek public office ever. But it's not. It was nice to have this 2-minute build up
Yeah.
with all the
Right.
accomplishments of the governor of the state, and then I'm like, hi.
Hello.
Actually, wait
Yeah.
a second.
Um,
Scratch that. We're going to come back to this.
yeah. So
Oh my
Alex,
God.
I have spent a little bit of time as a DJ, and my roommate and business partner has DJ'd many weddings as well. So I am very excited to talk to you about all of this. How long have you been doing the wedding scene?
So I'm trying to think of when my first wedding was. I know it was sometime when I was in high school.
I have to ask you, though, how old are you?
I'm 21.
Oh, okay. So
I
you
turned
are- you're
21 at the
baby.
start of October. So
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Good for you.
October what?
2nd.
All right, 6th.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. So I'd say probably 5 or 6 years ago was when I did my first wedding. Because I know it was when I was in high school. I think it might have been my junior year of high school. But
was that like a family member or? like-
no, it's a bit weird to explain. It was a classmate's moms were getting married.
That's
I think
awesome.
It was a second marriage. And so they were getting married, and people in the school obviously knew that I was a DJ. I was pretty vocal about it. And so I guess she had recommended me to her moms, and they contacted me, and I said, yeah, of course, I'd love to do your wedding. It's my first one. Might need a little bit of, extra direction, but absolutely. And did that.
Oh, man. I just love that young entrepreneurial spirit. Like, I just give you a high five all around, because really, that is such a cool thing.
Thank you.
Good for you. I mean,
Thank
you're out there doing your thing. I love it.
Absolutely. And everybody needs that support, right? Like everybody that is going to be an entrepreneur or that's going to do anything, right? Like if you want to be an artist, which being a DJ is great because you're both an artist and an entrepreneur.
Right.
Like you need that encouragement, and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what age you want to start at. Like, you need that encouragement, and you need someone to believe in you, and someone to take a chance, and
Absolutely.
someone to say, like, hell yeah, man, I want you to DJ my wedding. I don't care that you're 16. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's really that's
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah.
You got to support that spirit. So that's
Yeah.
that's
Thanks.
really amazing.
Yeah. That is really awesome. The school that I went to put me in charge of their drama program when I was 16, which was really cool. So like, having that first bit of belief from
Yeah.
somebody else in yourself, that's really
Mhm.
awesome. And so what do you do outside of weddings as well?
So I do, like I mentioned earlier, Sweet 16s and, corporate event parties, school dances, basically anything like that. I also do some work with event production and rentals, so some sound engineering and lighting design and some stuff like that. And then I also do photo booth for sort of right along with the DJ thing. If somebody's looking for a photo booth and they happen to hire me to DJ, then they're in the right spot. They can put photo booth right on there too.
How do you market your company in general? So you're young, you graduate from high school, and you're already in business. So how did you start to just market and gear up your business to then invest in buying a photo booth or buying cool DJ equipment?
So actually, the story of my marketing kind of starts out probably my freshman year of high school, because that was about the time when I actually got the photo booth. And I had actually gotten a loan from my mom to get it. And it actually wasn't the best investment ever, but before that time, I was mainly on like Thumbtack, which I'm sure you've probably heard of. They, mostly they market for like electricians and handymen and stuff, but they do DJs as well. So I was getting some business from there. And I was also like, this is really, really like cliche, but I was on Craigslist scouring for gigs and, was putting myself out there for, mobile DJ, Sweet 16s, school dances, whatever,
Good for you.
parties. And a dance competition actually reached out to me from Craigslist. And so spring of my freshman year of high school, I was on the road with a dance competition for a couple of months doing their announcing on the weekends for their shows. And so that gave me a lot of content to get into then Instagram. And I also, during my time in high school, was working on, my website and some SEO. And, it wasn't really powerful SEO, but I had some ranking where I was getting leads from my website more, and I didn't have to rely so much on like Thumbtack or Craigslist. And it pretty much went from there. And obviously, like I was telling you and Ben earlier, I'm on Wedding Wire right now, which is not the best investment ever. But
if the knot is really great, especially if you can like, because you obviously are very studious in this, and like getting onto like the best of the knot it ends up being really good for you. I have so like I want to transition into COVID right now, and one of my first of all, I love everything that you're doing. One of my best friends is and was a mobile DJ fully.
Mhm.
That was his job, like fully. And he was doing, 50 to 70 weddings a year at one point, like ridiculous amount of stuff. Most successful person that I knew that I had gone to school with started his own, like quit. He was working at GTech. He quit GTech, started his own DJ business. He started his own trivia business outside of the DJ thing. And was, became a real estate everything. COVID smashed his business, obviously.
Yeah.
And he actually so much to the point that he left the DJ business, not entirely, I think, but and is now, he took the time during COVID, went back to school, and is now the head of marketing for a company in Rhode Island that he just got. So like the from this career has been wonderful, but I've already, so like I've seen firsthand what the pandemic has done to this industry. How has that been for you?
So I've had, as every other DJ and basically anybody else in the entertainment industry, regardless of if you're a DJ or a videographer or a photographer, I've had tons of reschedules. Most of the weddings were rescheduled into 2021. And a ton of cancels. So a lot of the, school dances and Sweet 16s were just outright canceled, because in a sense they're not as big as a wedding, not something that has to be had in the way that a wedding does. And in the same time that all this was happening, I'm in college still, so I was dealing with getting transitioned to online classes, and stuff like that. And I'm just seeing right now that because the pandemic is still going on as we're at the start of the school year, things like homecomings are just not happening. And typically that would be a big part of my business during this time of the year when it's not so much prime wedding season, but there's still weddings happening. Those Friday nights would usually be school dances, homecomings, or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And you have applied for the grant. Sorry, I couldn't hear the feedback a little bit.
Yeah. I applied for the, Restore RI grant.
Yeah.
So I applied for that and got the initial round, but then they doubled. And then I also do have the self-employed unemployment right now too, which has also been very beneficial, to be able to keep on with the business, because before I was able to get that, I was, saying, am I going to be able to actually get ahead of this and reopen,
Are you finding that, so what type of business are you doing now? Or is everything just I'm actually really curious about how people are gathering or listening to music together.
Yeah. So, most of what I'm doing is basically, I've had a few events that people still wanted to hold, 2 weddings and a Sweet 16 that were, trimmed down size wise because of the regulations, and limited on, dancing to their special dances. And so it's changed a little bit of what I have to do, because I have to step in more as an MC and a game master than, a DJ and playing music and getting people dancing. So that's been okay, but I've done a couple of, speaker rentals. As I mentioned earlier, I do some event production stuff. And I was planning to have a small campaign for Thanksgiving speaker rentals. If people are, having outdoor Thanksgivings, a professor had recommended this to me, to have a speaker so that, everybody outside in the Thanksgiving can hear, similar to how I did a condo association meeting, small rental, because it was a adult condo association. And they had their meeting and distance, so people more spaced out, people couldn't hear, so obviously the speaker helped with that. So that's one area I've been trying to reposition to, but with this fresh round of regulations, it's looking like Thanksgiving isn't even going to happen. So
yeah. Lori, did you have another question? I'm going to mute him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to understand, like, how are you keeping in touch with your customers and your clients? And usually in a sole proprietor business like this, it's really important. I mean, we do social media, so I know that kind of ongoing communication is important. So I'm just curious how you're kind of keeping your network together through this, what I'm calling the hibernation period, because it's kind of strange. We're going into like the dark winter. We're also in this lockdown. I can see a lot of our clients like, okay, when the spring comes, we'll be hopefully back in action in some semblance of something. So I'm just curious how you're maintaining your clients, and then how your customers are responding to your changes.
So I want to flash back a little bit to March, because I try and be very active on my social media page, primarily my Instagram. That's where I'm pretty active.
What is your Instagram, just for the listeners?
Yeah, so I
was
have
just
a
gonna look it
business
up.
one.
Oh.
What's
Go ahead.
that?
No, go ahead.
It's DJ Alex Brown Pro, just all one word. And yeah, you can follow me on there, anybody who wants to, and I follow everybody back. So on that one. So yeah, any business owners looking for a free follower, give me a follow. I'll give you a follow back.
Okay.
But so I post a lot of stuff on there, but that's obviously driven by, having events to post, and having photos and videos of people dancing, and, client reviews to be able to say, hey, here's what the event looked like. Here's the review the client gave me. So I just had to kind of go dead for 6 months, because I stretched it. I had content to post for maybe a month, and I just kind of went silent. But at the same time, I was communicating with my customers, hey, things are going on. Is your event still going to happen? Are you postponing? Are you thinking about postponing? Some of it was through, I use like a business management online software specifically made for DJs. So I have like all my events in there and stuff. And so I would just have an automatic like scripted email that I would make a couple of tweaks on. Hey, customer name, is your event still happening, basically? And I would send that out, and mostly get a lot of responses that we're definitely postponing. We might be canceling. This is like March, April. And then by May, it was cancel. We need to postpone this, and a lot of back and forth. But email is really my, when I'm communicating directly with my customers type of thing.
I guess I want to say that, people that get all those kind of, how do you personally and professionally stay engaged when you're getting that kind of decline over and over and over? I do always like to ask, what are your challenges as a professional, as you move through this period of time in your business? Because I want to preface before you answer that, because I have this feeling that in 5 years, Ben and I are going to bring you on, and you're going to be like some highfalutin New York City DJ guy that we can barely get in touch with, because, you have a lot of drive and a lot of spirit. So I really love to recognize that. But, at this moment in time, like, how are you personally dealing with it in terms of, big view?
Yeah. So, it was a tough time personally, definitely. From being for my industry, the entertainment industry, and Ben probably understands this too. And really everybody, I guess, but winter is pretty dead. If you're lucky enough to get some Christmas parties or something, you're lucky and you get some and you're good. But my winters are usually pretty slow. Mm-hmm. And the start of the year too, basically I'm waiting to start up a lot of gigs until probably March, April, when some school dances start to happen.
Mhm.
You know, there's some winter balls, but winter balls are far less common than semi-formals and proms and things like that. And that startup of a lot of events every weekend never happened for me. So that was really hard because it was like, I'm just stuck in this winter that you can't get out of. There's no way to get out of. And there was no end in sight to it either. You know, with winter, you're usually like, okay, well, it's winter. I've been doing this a couple of years. I know that winter's not a good time. But when it's, you know, getting into March and you're like, I don't see this ending at all. We don't know when it's going to end. We're still locked down. It's really tough. And I was also set up to grow really aggressively over the summer. That's why I'd gotten into the Wedding Wire contract
Mhm.
and I had a lot of weddings booked for the summer,
Mhm.
more than I do in past years because I was trying to move to focus more on weddings. And you know, that summer wedding season didn't happen, and it was, you know, kind of a downer just to put so much in and know that I'd put my cards in the right place, but an external factor just was limiting what I could do in that regard.
Yeah. Well, you're not alone.
No, not at all. You know what? I think this is as horrible as all of this is for everybody. I think that this is a great opportunity for you, Alex, to do some. I was just looking at your Instagram a bit. I think that this is a great opportunity for you to use all of this dark period. And I don't mean dark as in like sad and ominous. I mean like this period of no, you know, not much of the work that you usually are loving doing. You have an amazing personality, man. You have an amazing personality, and I
Thank
think
you.
that you're welcome. And I think that like taking this time, you know, as you well know, because they just are, like everybody's postponing their weddings, right? So like weddings and stuff aren't happening right now, but they are going to be happening. God, God help us, next year. And what's happening is that people are canceling their weddings and then they're trying to talk to their vendors, but then their vendors already have a rescheduled date for that because now everybody's overbooked for 2021.
Right, right.
And people are making those decisions right now. So like if you take this opportunity to show a little bit of your personality out there and use social media the way that you've been doing so well since you were 15 and I mean you're 21, so you know it better than these other DJ companies that are out there. Like you live it and know it, and I'm sure that like you can, you know, I'm sure that you're better on Instagram, and I'm sure that you're like aware of TikTok more than a 45-year-old DJ company
Thank
it
you.
would be right now. You know what I mean? Like you can do all of this stuff to show your personality, and on TikTok you can use the music and nobody cares. Like these are great opportunities for you to show your personality so that when somebody is ready to get married next year, they want to hire you because they fell in love with you on social media. And I think
Right.
like you are such a great guy.
Thank
And
you.
that has come across in the last half hour that like Lori said, like I'm sure in 5 years we'll all be like,
Where's Alex? Why
what
can't-
happened? Yeah, we can't get a
I
hold
mean,
of Alex
I would
anymore.
hope so. And, you know, if I am at that point, I do want to say, you know, I always stay true to the people who supported me through, you know, I remember my first paid gig that I did was a friend of mine in middle school's Halloween party that I made $60 to do like 4 hours with a DJ setup and lighting. That probably cost me $600 in equipment to do,
Right.
you know, first gig. But, you know, she was the first person to take a chance with me. And, you know, I remember that. I'm still friends with her. And, you know, I remember that.
I was out, my daughter lives in Texas. And so the way we connect is we plan a walk and we talk while we walk. So we get moving. And
That's awesome.
we were saying that I said, oh my God, when this is over, we're going to have the biggest party ever. And she said, the whole world is going to have the biggest party ever.
Yeah.
So I will anticipate that you will have so much business, you won't know what to do with it, because everybody is going to want to dance and hug and be together and have amazing music. I mean, really, I can't wait for that day.
Yeah, I should say too, something that I should have mentioned earlier when you asked me what else I do. I do clubs as well. And obviously that's all, pretty much shut down. I'm a resident at the Coliseum in Providence, but they're still completely shut down with no sight of opening. And that's not really like a revenue thing for me. That's kind of more, I'm 21, it's fun to do. But
so let's do this. Why don't you talk to us like there's no pandemic, there's no anything. So eventually someday we can cut this clip and you can use it for marketing.
Yeah.
And you can say like, hey, this is what I do. Here are my offers. I'm Alex. This is where I am. And let's kind of, you just do your thing here. And then, and then when you're ready, we can cut it and you can use it for you can use this all for marketing, but
yeah,
it'd be cool for you to just be like, hey guys, I'm Alex. So
I feel like I'm doing an intro to a YouTube video right now.
Yeah, you are.
I have to talk about that later too, my YouTube channel. But hey there, I'm DJ Alex Brown. Thank you so much for watching. Oh God, I can't do that. That's like hey, I'm DJ Alex Brown. Thank you for taking the time to check out my services. I just wanted to say a big thank you for checking out my services, but I provide services for weddings, sweet 16s, corporate events, school dances, basically anything that you can think of. And my biggest priority is you, the customer. Having a DJ is all about basically having your personal jukebox. At least that's my personal opinion. It's my job to play the music you want to hear and what your guests want to hear, and not dictate your music taste by what I think you want to hear, which is a common complaint that I hear a lot of the times. And I'd also like to say that there's something underrated about the mobile DJ and mixing. A lot of DJs these days don't mix, and some of them don't even know how to mix. And I like to say that I don't believe that that's proper. For me, mixing is a big part of what I do, and I find that it makes nights flow a lot better and keeps people going for a long time. So if you feel like that's the proper type of DJ to fit what you're looking for, please consider contacting me for a quote, and I'd be happy to give you some more information, and let's find out if I am in fact the proper DJ for you.
I love it.
That was really on the fly. That was tough.
That's the best way to do it. That's awesome, Alex. I really appreciate, you jumped on the opportunity. I just love that so much. I mentor startup businesses too. And I have to say, like, I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks.
Really, you're doing great. Where are you based?
So I'm in Smithfield. Out of I store all my equipment in my parents' house.
Yeah, don't tell anyone where it is. Just stop right there.
No addresses. But yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. All right. Well, can you tell us where to find your YouTube channel and what would be on that while you?
Yeah. So you can find my YouTube channel at youtube.com/DJ Alex Brown. Or you can just search DJ Alex Brown in YouTube and it'll usually come right up at the top. And most of the stuff that I post on there is generally geared toward DJs. So there's a lot of product reviews. That's pretty much my bread and butter, whether it's actual, lights or speakers, or sometimes it's DJ music subscriptions. And I do also do gig logs. So for the potential bride, or it's mostly wedding focused, but we'll say potential bride. I actually just released a gig log, as you might have seen on my Instagram page, of a wedding I did a couple weeks ago. That was a COVID wedding. And that's a little bit more.
What's a gig log?
So it's where I, take sort of the footage that I get from, dancing and stuff that I might post on like Instagram, and put it together with sort of an introduction of, okay, here's the venue. Here's sort of what we're doing today. And I kind of introduce all that stuff. So, I'm actually in front of the camera saying, so here's our venue. It's the casino at Roger Williams Park. Here's the ceremony space, and a little bit of B-roll of the ceremony space explaining, okay, well, here's the reception space, and we have uplighting today, and the uplighting helps the room look better. And, it's sort of explaining the services that are being provided. And sometimes I get on the phone with brides that, I say, are you interested in uplighting? And they say, I might be, I've heard about uplighting, but I'm not really sure what it is. And that's one of those scenarios where I can either say that here's a photo or a video, this is what uplighting is, because, I can try and explain it, but it's something you see,
Oh, I love that. Well, yeah, because you're the expert. I mean, they're the bride. They do something different.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say don't be afraid to the stuff that I talked about earlier about showing your personality and stuff on your social media. I would say don't be afraid of putting that YouTube content on your social media as well, because like if a bride can see that in your Instagram feed when they look for you, that you're, explaining to them what uplighting is and does, and like all of the stuff that you're doing when you're talking to other DJs, like that's awesome, man. You're you become the host of the party, and then you're the expert, and then people go, well, I want to go to Alex because he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. Yeah.
You're awesome. I've loved this. Thank you, Lori, for contributing this. I don't have anything to cheers, but cheers.
Oh, all right. Well, I always have my coffee in the morning.
I know. I'm getting very old, and I hurt my back the other day, and I did not go upstairs to make tea before the show. So, yep. All right. Thank you, Alex, so much.
Thanks, Alex. Great.
Everybody follow Alex, DJ Alex Brown at DJ Alex Brown Pro, and follow him on YouTube. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks.
Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks. You too.
Bye.
He was awesome.
Oh my God.
He was
like
incredible.
I said,
yeah.
The young entrepreneur is so focused, so intelligent and expert level. Wow. Really cool. I cannot wait to have a party now. Oh my God.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll have one when your book is officially ready to come out. I'm so excited.
January.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. I don't know if we'll be able to have a party by January, but we'll have a virtual party.
Oh, we will have a party. We will have, as soon as we can have a party, it's going to last for a month. I can tell you that.
Absolutely. Also, I want to interview you about your book.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's all about courage, taking the leap.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Lori. Oh, before we go, everybody, if you have a business or you want to find a local business, the holidays are coming up. Shop local. ShopLocalRhodeIsland.com is a wonderful directory. If you are a local business or you have a loved one that owns or runs a local business, get them on ShopLocalRhodeIsland.com. And if you are looking for a local service or goods provider or anything like that, check out ShopLocalRhodeIsland.com, the most comprehensive list of businesses that you can help and that could help you.
Perfect.
Thank you. And if you want more information on the always incredible Lori Chitari, check out visualthrive.com.
Well, and now you got to do your company too, Ben, because you're cranking.
No, I don't. I don't want to do anything else.
Right, because Ben is too busy right now.
I don't want to. I need to hire other people to. Yeah, no. I made the wonderful mistake of doing some stuff with Scott, and which was wonderful. And by mistake, I'm being sarcastic because now those people want me to do more stuff with Scott, and it's
You're great. You're great.
It's wonderful, but
Oh, good.
I literally I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But I can't wait about the book.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to read it. January can't come soon enough.
It's a little scary, I must say, but I'm ready.
I'm excited. I'm so excited for you. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Join us at noon for the Lieutenant Governors, and the RI Small Business Coalition will be on there. The Small Business Virtual Town Hall for Rhode Island. If you have questions about the Restore RI grant, someone from Commerce will be on there to answer your questions. Have a good day, guys.
Sounds great. Thanks, Ben. Bye.
Bye.